Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another Around the Town of Branford with Henry and Frank. It's June 7th, 2018. We're here on Damascus Road at the Francis Walsh Intermediate School, grades 5 through 8 in Branford, Connecticut. The reason we're here, this is the culmination of a project that's been under development for 5 years. It's going to be the groundbreaking of the Francis Walsh Intermediate School project. The project is a blend of old and new. It's going to be great when it's finished. You're going to actually see the groundbreaking itself. It's a long time coming. There were many public meetings held. Board of Selectmen were involved. The Branford Public Building Commission was involved. The Branford Board of Education involved. The Board of Finance, and the RTM. Today, the Branford Building Committee and the Board of Education host this groundbreaking ceremony. All plans were finally proposed after many arduous town meetings. The state approved the reimbursement grant of $30 million. It's the most expensive project that the town has ever taken on, and you're going to see the groundbreaking ceremony today. The plan chosen by the boards involved kept the existing swimming pool and gym. The maximum reimbursement method from the state was used. The other goal of First Selectman Jamie Cosgrove was to keep the project under control so that the students could continue going here during the construction. So there isn't going to be any interruption to the school calendar. Portions of the existing school behind me will be retained and fixed up to meet current code standards, and there will also be new construction. It's called a hybrid blend. The town has authorized $68.5 million. That's the guaranteed maximum. The Branford Public Building Commission approved putting the project out to bid, and the construction should start shortly. Sometime this summer it's going to start, and it's projected to be completed in 2019. This school behind me, the Francis Walsh Intermediate School, was originally built in 1970 using an open classroom concept. The architect was Earl Carlin of Branford. One of the purposes of the renovation project is to fix chronic noise complaints and update the school to current standards, including some security concerns. It was constructed on 29 acres here on Damascus Road, and the existing building is 191,000 square feet. 25% of the existing structure is to be renovated. 75% of the existing building will be replaced with a new academic addition. The Board of Education, Superintendent of Schools, Hamlet Hernandez, and staff are going to be moved to this location. They're going to have their office here. When the project is completed, sometime in 2019, it will be a 169,000 square foot school. There isn't going to be any interruption to the school schedule. The Commons building will have 53,000 square feet. That is the existing portion of the structure that'll be kept. In the Commons building, the school's administrative offices will be there. The school-based health suite will be there. The shared athletic facilities will be in the Commons building, including the auditorium. Then the other building is the new academic building. It's 3 stories, 116,000 square feet, with shared classrooms, art classes, family spaces, consumer science classroom, special ed. The first floor will contain the cafeteria, the kitchen, and service space for the technology workshop, plus storage. Okay, that's the new academic building. Antonazi Architects of Bridgeport is the architect involved. They are just completing other high schools around the state as well. They're doing Harding High School in Bridgeport, and they just finished the Orville Platt High School in Meriden, Connecticut. Fusco Corporation is the construction manager, and Colliers International is also involved. The construction of the school will be phased, and it's going to remain in operation. There will be no interruption to the school calendar. Students will continue going to school here at Francis Walsh Intermediate School during the renovation project. There's a two-phase project involved. First, construction of the new academic area, cafeteria, and the music center. The second phase is to renovate the pool, the gym, and the music areas. It's to repurpose the current cafeteria and demolish the current academic area and the media center and the rear of the building, all be demolished. It really sounds exciting. This is a great school now, and it's going to be an even greater school when the project is finished next year. The type of education and curriculum is called the 21st Century Learning Philosophy. Students of similar grades are put into teams A and B. Classrooms with each team are clustered, facilitating supervision and student management. Each cluster contains 4 classrooms: world language, English, social studies, and mathematics, plus a science room and an open common instruction space. So very shortly you're going to be seeing on this program the groundbreaking, the most expensive project in Branford's history being undertaken, the culmination of 5 years of meetings, approvals, and planning work. And it's, as I said before, this groundbreaking ceremony today is co-sponsored by the Branford Public Building Commission as well as the Branford Board of Education. So stay with us as Around the Town of Branford with Henry and Frank continues here at the Francis Walsh groundbreaking ceremony. Okay, I'm speaking with Joseph Higgins. He's on the Board of Selectmen here in the town of Branford, and we're just about to see the groundbreaking of the Francis Walsh construction project. Joe, it's been a long time. How do you feel about the culmination?
Overwhelmed. Everything has gone on just the way we thought it would. Everybody cooperates. We have people coming from all over, suggestions, recommendations, their experiences, and we've learned to do things a little bit different. But this is a great tribute. It puts a star in the sky for Branford, and it shows when your heads go together and they're not knocking each other and they're doing the right thing and supporting each other, this is our result.
It's going to be great. I've seen pictures of the school. You know, after it's done, it's going to be a real beautiful facility.
It certainly is. It's going to. How do I want to say it? I come from New York, so this is a big thing.
It is a big thing.
We're not ripping down and building up. We're ripping down and that's it. We walk away from it, you know. But this is a big, big thing, especially for the kids.
Yes.
The girls and the boys that go here and that will subsequently come here, they'll look back. Hopefully they look into history and see what this is all about. This is not a school and just not a reconstruction. It's a lot of stuff culminating into a beautiful project.
Now, there's a grant that the state came through for us on $50 million. No, I'm sorry, no, it was $30 million. I mean, was there ever a time that you...
$50 million, I had to catch my breath.
I mean, was there ever a time that you thought that might be at risk? $30 million's a lot of money. The state's having all these financial problems, but they came through.
I equate a lot of what goes on in this town only 10 times less than where I came from New York. Everything in New York was a big project.
Yes.
Up here it's a project, but it seems to be addressed, handled, solved and we move on to something else.
Yeah, that's true.
Very well managed. I know I can speak for Jamie. He's very, very happy.
Yeah.
And it's a feather in our cap because we've wanted this. And sometimes people just drag their feet, you know.
At the time
they can't make a decision of what they really want.
At the time Jamie Cosgrove, first selectman, was campaigning the first time, this was one of his ideas.
Before my time, but I know that he...
Yeah. So it's taken all these years,
Yeah.
to reach the point we're at today. It's great.
Yeah, it's very hard to measure time, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
And when you're in a business like they're going to be digging up and building, you go with the flow. You go with the flow. So cooperation is your biggest key point. Everybody got to work together.
That's right.
No matter how you feel about this or how you feel about that, this is the project in front of us.
Yeah.
Let's get this done.
All right.
And let's move on to something else.
All right, that's very good. Well, thanks for being with us.
My pleasure, Frank. Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Joseph Higgins on the Board of Selectmen from the town of Branford.
Okay.
Stay with us as our coverage continues, the Francis Walsh groundbreaking ceremony. Okay, we're speaking now with our state representative, 102nd District, Lonnie Reed. Hello, Lonnie.
Hi, Frank. How are you?
Good. It's great to see you on this good day.
Nice to see you, too.
Also with us on the Board of Finance in Branford, it's Lorraine Young. Lorraine, nice to see you, too.
Nice to see you, too.
Well, this is a great...
The sun is going to come out, and it's not going to rain, and all the good things are going to happen here today.
It's true, Lorraine. Very good thing is going to happen, and that's the groundbreaking
That's
here
right.
at Francis Walsh. Now, being up in Hartford, you helped get us the $30 million grant, right?
Yeah, $38 million.
That's a lot of money.
I don't want to forget that other eight. Yeah.
How did you do it, Lonnie?
We really worked hard. We as a delegation worked hard. But, Frank, remember when I was on the RTM with
Yeah.
you and I chaired education?
Education, yeah.
And this was a huge issue, this school. We had so many people, so many parents who loved our elementary schools who were very nervous about sending their children to, the school, given the fact that it was a 70s idea. Where
Open.
Open
Right,
classrooms,
right. Yeah.
and we changed our teaching methods, but we couldn't change the architecture. So, everybody's done an amazing job, and kids have learned well here, but we really wanted to make it a much better environment for the children and for the teachers and, to really make it work for everybody. So, we worked really hard to get it. And Branford had not gotten any state money for schools since the 70s, so we really played that card. And we also fought hard to make it clear that this town has a population of children on the free and reduced lunch program, 26%. It's approaching 30%. So this idea that we're not educating kids and families who need a little help was really, inappropriate. We were sort of perceived as being all having deep pockets and living on yachts. And the reality is that we have a really diverse population here of amazing families, and it's important that we give them the best education possible.
That's true. All those cards that you played, they worked.
They did.
They worked, but, we stayed on it.
Right.
We stayed on it,
Yeah.
and we had a great argument.
That's
argument, and that and then the town, we all came together
right,
around it.
right.
Both sides of the aisle. This was something that we cared about enormously, and we all came together and we stayed together, and that's what worked.
That's right.
At the time the school's finished, it's going to be a real asset.
It's an amazing asset, and I always say you make an education, an economic argument for education as well.
Yes.
You bring families into towns when they know there are good schools.
Exactly.
Right.
And so that's a really important thing, particularly given the budget challenges that we all have, to keep our grand list strong and to make sure we're bringing families in here who know that their kids are going to get a great education.
You must be so pleased and proud, Lorraine. Board of Finance passed this. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it is going to be great, and I'm really looking forward to it because there was so much discussion over. This was one of the items that everybody discussed to death, really. So to think that it really did get this far is wonderful.
Yeah, right. It's the most expensive project in the town's history, and it's being undertaken today. You're going to see the groundbreaking shortly. Now, as far as you up in Hartford, I understand that you aren't seeking, after 5 terms, you're not seeking your re-election, right?
I'm not seeking re-election, but as I tell everybody, I'm not dying.
That's good.
I'm going to stay engaged in the issues that I really care about, and education is one of them. And also, the biosciences that we've been bringing into Branford. And I'll be working with Lorraine and everybody, to keep those things really buoyant and moving forward. Branford has so much to offer, and I love it. We all love our town so much. So there's just a lot more than I want to do.
People always say this about our representative, Lonnie Reed. They say, she has always put people above politics.
Oh, well, it's been something that, and I find that many of my colleagues feel the same way. And when you kind of reach across the aisle and you find coalitions, that you bring them together around issues, I always say, you look for the people who really want to fix it, who want to solve the problems, and not, go into the all the drama. Right. And there are a lot of people around that you can really bring together.
It's true.
Yeah.
You did a great job for us.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you so much, and it's always been great working with you too.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Lonnie.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Great to see y'all.
Thank you too, Lorraine. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
All right, keep up your good work on the Board of Finance.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, and we're going to speak right now to Hamlet Hernandez, our superintendent.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. All
Nice
the
to
support.
see you.
Good seeing you.
Sir,
Good
nice to
seeing
see you, Hamlet.
Good seeing you, Frank.
It's a great day today, right?
It is a super day.
Yeah.
A super day.
It's one of the best.
I'm like ready to jump out of my suit. Very, very exciting.
It's taken so many years to reach this point.
Well, I think the community has really rallied,
Yes.
and the community's always known that we've had this need. But I think the time was right, and the conditions were right, and we worked together, and here we are. It's coming to fruition, and it certainly is truly a community effort. If it wasn't for the Board of Finance, for the RTM, for the First Selectman's leadership, the Board of Education, past and present, so here we are. And our kids will reap the benefit of this, and that's the most important piece.
That's true. It's all for the children. Absolutely,
That's
sir.
exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Are you excited?
I am excited. No, this has always been a great school, but with the improvements to the building, it's going to be even better.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have much to be proud of today.
We do. That was a large grant we got from the state, $38 million.
It was.
I don't know whether that's going to end now for other school projects, in other towns, or.
Well, I think the school construction, that's up to the bonding commission, but
Yes,
I suspect that they will continue to invest
Yeah.
in infrastructure. They might not do it at the same level that they've done in the past,
Yes.
but I still think that they will continue to do that to a certain degree.
Well, it was great speaking with you, and
Likewise, Frank, and
very
thank
good
you.
work.
And
Yeah.
thank you for
Yeah.
your support.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome, sir. Hamlet Hernandez, the superintendent of schools for the town of Branford. Stay with us. Our coverage continues. Francis Walsh groundbreaking. Okay, our coverage continues, the Francis Walsh groundbreaking ceremony, and I'm with Francis Walsh himself, former selectman of the town of Branford. I'm sure you've been proud twice, or you were proud right back in 1970 when the school was built, and you're proud again, right, of the renovation?
Well, of course, this is a special part of my life, and excited to be here, and the future is always good to look forward to.
That's true. I heard that when this school was being built, right, there was a company it was a consulting company, and they searched in the whole country for the best person to be principal, right? And they picked a person in Branford to be the first principal, Francis Walsh, right?
Well, I was shocked, I'll tell you that. It was a wonderful experience, and I don't even know what made me apply for the job, but I was excited about what was about to happen, and it turned out okay.
This is going to be a great, phenomenal structure, right, when it's done next year.
It sure looks it. Well, a couple years, I guess, but yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. I'll miss the parts that are being torn down.
I'm sure you will.
It's been a great building, and a building that in its initial stages was very inexpensive to build. And I think we got our money's worth out of it. All the plans and all of the looking forward, we thought 50 years ahead of time, and we almost made it.
That's amazing. Too, it's great to go in the building today because, everything is so clean and kept up to date and everything is freshly painted. I mean, it looks like it's new.
The town's done a great job with the building, and I come in here to vote and a few things like that, and I'm astonished at the condition of it.
It's true. It's like new all these years,
I recently went through the safe and took some things that early secretaries kept, news releases and so on, so we've got to make good use of those too, that they're not destroyed. There's a lot of history in this building.
It's true. There really is. Well, it was great to speak with you,
Thank
Francis.
you, Frank.
You must be so proud today.
I'm always proud of this place. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Francis Walsh himself here at the Francis Walsh Middle School, and the groundbreaking ceremony will be starting very soon, so stay with us. I'm here with our school board chairman, Michael Kraus. You must be so proud, Mike.
Very excited. Something I've been looking forward to since the early 2000s. It's finally coming to fruition, and it's what's so great about having all the kids here to be part of this.
There's a huge bunch of students here from the Francis Walsh Middle School. They're all here to witness the groundbreaking ceremony. It's been how many years did this take, Mike?
It's at least four full years with the current board and some new members of the board, and a lot of labor, but all for the love of the kids.
During the 4 years, was there ever a time that you weren't sure this was all going to be, all the pieces would come together for the state grant, $38 million, the town approving the money?
Well, it all came down to timing. About 4 years ago, when we were getting the education specs ready, we had to have it in by a certain time, and we were in the deadline. And some late hours, got it all done by the superintendent, and then the board voting on the education specs, and then thank God we got it in when we did, because with what happened with the state last year, I don't think we would have had the funding and we wouldn't be standing here today.
I know everything fell into place right on time. There was so many people involved. Everybody worked together, right, Mike?
Yeah, I want to really thank everyone. The first selectmen, all the selectmen, the RTM members, the Board of Finance, because without the support of everybody and the community, as well as the parents of our town, this wouldn't be happening.
It's true. It's the most expensive project in the town's history, the new Francis Walsh Intermediate School.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
That's Michael Kraus, our Board of Education Chair. Stay with us as our coverage continues. Okay, right before the ceremony starts, I'm speaking with our state representative, Sean Scanlon. Sean, you were a big part of this, right? You helped the state authorize $38 million through the bonding commission for this.
So proud. It's a really proud day for the community in Branford. Myself, Senator Kennedy, Representative Reed, we worked really hard for almost 2 years to get this money. $38 million is not a small chunk of change, and it's going to be great to see this new school, and for generations of young Branford people are going to be in this building and using it for the benefit.
I've seen pictures of, as to how it's going to come out. It's going to be a real outstanding building.
It's going to be a special place, and it means a lot to this community, I think, to see a new school after all these years, and I'm excited to see what it looks like and excited to break the ground today.
Sean, now, during the 2 years, was there ever a time that, the whole project, as far as the state grant, was, possibly, you weren't sure if it was going to be authorized by the bonding commission?
Yeah, we have some significantly tough times with the budget up in Hartford, and we're fighting tooth and nail against every other community in the state that wants this same small pot of money. We have a good delegation. They're both leaving me, unfortunately, but we worked really hard together. We got this done for the town of Branford, and I'm really proud of what we were able to accomplish.
Yeah, it's great. Well, thank you so much for all your work.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sean Scanlon, our state representative. Stay with us. Our coverage continues.
Ann Reynolds, the principal of the intermediate school, and I have the privilege of being the mistress of ceremonies this morning. We have a special program planned, but first, let's all rise while Ava Cosgrove, an 8th grade student at Walsh, sings the national anthem.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ava. An amazing job. Next, I would like to welcome James B. Cosgrove, our first selectman from the town of Branford.
Thank you. I welcome all you here today on behalf of the town and the Board of Selectmen, Selectman Higgins, Selectman Ahern, who will join us here today. And to my daughter, Ava, you know, I give my daughter and all these kids here a lot of credit for having the courage to stand up. I'm still uncomfortable getting up in front of addressing people. And, and I just want to say, actually, the fact that Ava, that had a little pause there, but that have the courage and the fortitude to continue to move on, I think is analogous to this project, to be quite honest with you. So, I want to welcome, we have many town officials here today, many members of the Representative Town Meeting, RTM, the town staff, town engineer, Janice Plasiak, Jim Finch, finance director, town clerk, Arpin, as well as our fire chief. And we have our state delegation here, Representative Sean Scanlon, Representative Lonnie Reed. I just want to give them a special welcome too. Thank you. I do not believe Senator Kennedy was able to make it today. I just want to really highlight quickly the process that we went through, because as I said, that this was today is a special day, is a long time coming. This project, this most recently effort started actually right before I became first selectman, so just about over 5 years ago. I remember distinctly the Board of Education was looking at bringing this project forward, then under former Board of Ed Chair Frank Carano and Hamlet Hernandez, Superintendent of Schools, as well as the board was looking at addressing this long identified need to address this school. And I remember having a conversation with both the superintendent and the board chairman and saying, I was supportive of finally addressing this need. However, it was going to have to go through a process that we were able to build and sustain confidence and support as we went through the process. From then we engaged a firm to do a feasibility study to really look at maximizing the state reimbursement, trying to limit the burden on the taxpayers, all while addressing not only today's needs for our education, but future needs. We went through that. The Board of Education began their education specifications, the Board of Ed, which once again, a long process, engaged the community, stakeholders, teachers, evaluated what was needed to really provide an education to our students and really maintain a high quality of life that we enjoy here in Branford and build upon that. From there, I have to give a lot of credit to Jim Finch, our finance director. Jim was really the one who was there with us all along the way, kind of shepherding this through the appropriating bodies and meeting with the Board of Finance, the RTM, to build that confidence, ensure that this is a project that's financially feasible, that we can do this. And not only that transcended through the appropriating boards, but through the community as well. So we were able to sustain that support as we went through. So thank you, Jim. And then we went to get our state grant. And of course, the timing's perfect. We know that the state is having some difficulties right now. But once again, I actually want to thank the State Department of Education, Office of School Construction. They actually came down toward the building along with our team that's here, Antonazzi and Colliers and Fusco. They toured this building, we took a look at it, and they easily identified the need. Now was the time to get the funding, and that was going to be a challenging part. And State Representative Reed and State Representative Scanlon and State Senator Kennedy helped champion that through the legislative process. And and at a time where, yes, school projects get funded, but you have to also recognize not only were we it was a difficult situation, they were probably funding half of what they funded in previous years. So right there, we were going up. It was a very competitive process, so I thank them for bringing that through. Now it's time to move forward with this project, and I want to thank all the volunteers who serve on the Public Building Commission for their volunteering their time and their expertise to this project to see it through. This is a multi-year commitment, so I think we just got to give the Building Commission a round of applause. And here, of course, they'll be working close in concert with our team. Antonazzi Associates, which we have Paul Antonazzi and Mike Lasasso here with us today. Colliers International, Scott Pellman's here today, who's been working closely with our group as an owner's rep. And Fusco Corporation, who will actually be managing this project and all the subs. I'm pleased to have Lynn Fusco and Chris Toussaint, and I believe Greg Paciel's here. So I want to welcome them, and putting this team together has been a process. We did our diligence in ensuring that we put a solid team together, and we have confidence that we're not only able to start this project, but to deliver this project, that this will be a project that the community and the school is proud of. So thank you. I just want to close with, on another school project, a consultant that worked on it said a school project is analogous to an iceberg. And I don't mean that it can sink you, but it could. But the fact that it takes so long and there's so many people involved in it, that when we get to this point, we're really only recognizing a small group that's really worked on it. There has been dozens, if not hundreds, of people who worked over the years to see this project move forward. Teachers, parents, students, former students, town officials, Board of Education officials, and elected officials. So, I just want to thank all of you in bringing this, and this is something we can all be proud of. So, thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Next, we have up Mr. Banca. I'm waiting for his wife to come out any moment so she could help with the little one. Also, I'd like to recognize our fifth graders are outside with us right now, right? There they all are. We recognized all the adults, but I think it's really important to recognize all our students as well. They're here. Thank you for being such a great audience. And we're also live streaming so that our students on the inside can view and participate as well. Okay, up next is Peter Banca, our Public Building Commission Chairman.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is a proud day today for Branford. We have worked over the last 2 or 3 years to make this a reality. Everyone has a reason for doing what they do. No one does something just for the heck of it. You probably saw my reason over here, a little 2.5-year-old reason, squirming. Jamie gave a very great history of the school and the project and what's happening. I also want to add to that each of our building commission members worked very hard. I know that many nights, many occasions were sacrificed so that they could make this a reality. I also want to recognize the families of those building commission members because they too gave up something. They gave up their spouses for those evenings. I thank you all, one and all, building commission people, and all of the support that we have gotten over this past 2 or 3 year period. We're looking forward to a ribbon cutting ceremony in 3 years, and I think that will be an even greater event. Thank you, and enjoy the day.
Next, we have Hamlet Hernandez, Superintendent of Branford Public Schools.
Welcome, everyone. As Mr. Cosgrove and Mr. Banca so eloquently stated, that this is truly a community effort. And I also want to reiterate my deepest sincere thank you to everyone that has participated in this project. I can tell you when I first became superintendent, Mr. DeRoss, I think I was on the job less than a week, told me that we were doing a building swap. I thought maybe I was going back to Hamden. I didn't really even know what that meant, you know. But I think about where we have come from as a community, and under the leadership of Mr. Cosgrove, the chairman of the Board of Education, the RTM, the Board of Finance, Mr. Finch, and all of the volunteers that have made this project really come to fruition. All we need to do is look behind us and look at the faces of our youth and know that they deserve to have a quality school. They already have outstanding teachers. They already have committed parents. They already have a community that is supportive of education. And now we will add this final touch, which is a 21st century next generation intermediate school. For that, we should be incredibly proud of, because not many communities can rally together and get behind a project like this and have the vision. And frankly, as I always tell my staff, it is not about who gets the credit. It is always about who gets the benefit. And to me, that is incredibly important. And that is a quote that my father would always say to me, someone who is very near and dear and in my heart today, because he believed in public institutions, as all of us. So thank you, 5th graders. Be patient. Know that probably when you go home next year, every day at the dinner table, you'll be asked, was there noise? Did you see any dust? Were there animals running around? You know, were there strangers? Know that the security of the project is foremost in our minds, and yes, there'll be some disruptions, but in the end, it is worth it. Anything worthwhile is usually difficult. This is no different. So thank you, and I look forward to it.
Next, I would like to bring up our Cantari selection under the direction of Teresa Madrid. They will be singing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
That's wonderful, thank you. So next I'm going to invite Lynn Fusco and Peter Bonka to come up for the presentation of our shovels.
I was quite remiss in my comments in failing to recognize Fran Walsh. Fran is the reason that we're all here today. He had a little bit to do with this school. Fran, where are you? There he is. Please stand. Please stand. Fran is a legend in his own time. Time. Okay. We have Lynn Fusco here, the construction manager, and Bridget from the high school, and we will now do the presentation of shovels. Okay. We have some ceremonial shovels that will not be used for the actual digging, but we are going to make those presentations now. Leading off, I think it appropriate that Fran Walsh be first. Fran, please. Next is the Honorable Jamie Cosgrove, First Selectman. Next is Michael Kraus, Chairman of the Board of Education. Hamlet Hernandez, Superintendent of Schools. Rayanne Reynolds, Principal, Walsh Intermediate School. Lynn Fusco can put on her own hat and hand herself a shovel. We have, where is he? Mike Lasasso from Antonazzi Associates. Scott Pellman from Colliers International. What's going on here? We have Lonnie Reed, State Rep, and Sean Scanlon, State Rep. And is Greg Plaisel here? There he is. I said, Greg, please. And Chris Toussaint. Okay, thank you very much. I would ask the shovelers now to officially break ground for the school.
We step in it, or we?
You can step in it, Hamlet. You can go for it. You never know what might be in there, Hamlet.
Okay, that's our first of the ground shoveling. I want to kind of recognize, I don't know if you noticed, these amazing shovels that are in front of you. Our students in 5th grade were asked to come up with designs, and they submitted different ones, and these 12 students were recognized and selected, and they had an opportunity with our art teacher to create them after school, and that's what you see in front of you here. Oh, I'm going to put mine up there too, hold on. And I like to recognize those 12 students. And I also like to where's Bridget? There she, this has been our intern. She's from the high school, and she had the privilege and honor of working with Lynn and Fusco as a potential future, what's your career options? Engineering, and you're going to WPI, and she worked all the last half of the year here with Fusco Corporation, so I want to take a minute to recognize her as well as our student rep. Great potential. Thank you. And I also like to recognize if the students that come up and just stand behind your shovels, right? You ready? So Talia Wares, Morgan Hackley, Randy Chauvin, Emerson Shuck, Randy Caraponga, Tatia Casella, Ilana Lise Koto, Sage Lavoco, Emma Long, Zuzu Ponstrom, Gianna Salso, Olivia May. Are they all here with their shovels? Put your hard hats on, guys. Come on. There you go. You're there. That's all right. Here, you can shovel this. Here, one more. That's great. Everybody, get a little dirt. Come on. Pick it up. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Now the project's officially begun. shovels there. Come back in, thank you so much. I want to thank everyone for being here. I'm very excited. I agree with Hamlet when he says we're going to do our best to keep the building as secure and safe, and we're going to keep it as quiet and normal as usual. I look forward to seeing one throughout the project. Thank you all for attending. Thank you that the weather held off. I want to again thank the commission and the Antonazzi and Fusco, everyone for being here. Fifth grade students, you did a great job. And hello to all our students inside who are watching live stream as well. It was interesting, the students this morning made an announcement saying, go to the windows and look outside. I'm like, what windows? We don't have any. They're gonna build them in a couple of years. But that's great, so I hope you're watching as well. Thank you for coming, and thank you for being part of this. Look forward to Branford's future. There's refreshments in the back for the adults. I know, it's for the adults. There's some great treats for you too when you go back to your classroom. Fusco gave you some wonderful backpacks we're going to be giving to all the students.
Okay, that was the principal here at Walsh Middle School, Rayanne Reynolds, and she ended the great groundbreaking ceremony. I'm here with Branford's first selectman now, James Cosgrove. James, back, I think it was October 2013, right? There was a first selectmen's debate just before you were elected the first time, the following month, November. October 2013, I think it was. That's when you said that you wanted to see this school rebuilt, right?
Yes, absolutely. You may recall at the time the Board of Education had put a committee together to evaluate our schools, and they had made the recommendation to proceed, which had been considered in the past with addressing the needs of the school. As I mentioned, I was supportive of finally addressing it, but going through a process that was we could sustain the support through the project, knowing it's a long process by the time you get the appropriation and design and actual construction. So. It's been identified for many years, decades to be quite honest. We've done multiple studies on this building, what we can do to address its deficiencies, and ultimately I think we came up with a great plan to finally address it.
No, it's true, right? This whole thing took 4.5 years, this process.
4.5 years for this latest effort, but there have been previous efforts that have started and then, for whatever reason had stopped. So again, it's probably been, at least 15 to 20 years, I think closer to 20 years that we've done our first study on this building.
Well, I think throughout the whole project, you as first selectman, you provided everyone with excellent leadership, and I think that's what made the difference.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Frank. And as I said in my remarks, that there's a number of people who are involved. It's not just one person that can, a project of this magnitude can shepherd forward. I was proud to be a part of it and see it come to fruition, but there was a number of people that were involved throughout the process.
True. Well, thank you so much for being with us, and we also look forward to coming back, when the school's built and then the ribbon cutting.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Look forward to it.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Our first selectman, Jamie Cosgrove. That concludes our coverage for you of the groundbreaking ceremony here at the Francis Walsh Intermediate School, Damascus Road in Branford. It's been a long time coming, but it's on its way, and you'll be seeing the construction now as you drive by the school for the next year or so. Okay, until next time, for Henry Pond, I'm Frank Tuhill. We'll be back again with more programs around the town of Branford with Henry and Frank. Until next time, goodbye.